Preparing for sampling. Before going to the field to sample, it's important that you prepare all of the materials you will need for sampling and plating. This will make it an easier process and will prevent common errors. Let's first gather our materials. You need 3 media bottles of Colascan Easy Gel media for each site. You can only submit data for samples that have been collected with unexpired media. So make sure to check the expiration date before sampling. You can find that date on the side of the box that the media bottles were shipped to you in. Make sure you take the media bottles out of the freezer several hours before you plan to sample so that the media will have plenty of time to thaw. If possible, do this the night before. You can't add samples to frozen media. Today, we will be sampling 2 sites, so we have a total of 6 bottles of Colascan Easy Gel media. You will need a small cooler or Ziploc bag to transport your samples from the field along with an ice pack or a bag of ice to keep your samples cool. We suggest that you put the media bottles in Ziploc sandwich bags, 1 bag per site you will test. This will help you stay more organized and prevent you from mixing up samples from different sites. You will also need 1 pre-treated Petri dish for each media bottle. So for this sampling event, we will need a total of 6 dishes. We also have our wrapped sterile pipettes ready, 1 per site, plus an extra just in case one of the pipettes is lost or contaminated. For instance, if you drop one onto the ground while sampling. To prepare your Petri dishes for the field, you'll need a permanent marker and clear tape. You will need a thermometer to check air and water temperature at your site. The thermometers we use are alcohol-based and measured in Celsius. They are the same thermometers found in the Alabama Waterwatch Water Chemistry Monitoring Kit. Make sure to check the thermometer for any breaks in the glass or liquid before heading out to sample. Breaks in the liquid can give you an incorrect temperature reading. Don't forget to grab some hand sanitizer to clean your hands after sampling in the field, and a first aid kit in case of incidents. Carry 1 data form per site, preferably on a clipboard. Today, we have 2 data forms since we are sampling 2 sites. And don't forget to take a pen or pencil so that you'll have something to write with. Before we leave for sampling, we are going to prepare our Petri dishes. Here we have 6 Petri dishes, 3 for each of our 2 sites. To begin, we always suggest that you examine each Petri dish for irregularities, including uneven coating of the bottom dish. These defects can cause problems with your test. For example, if the dish is not completely coated, your sample will not be able to gel properly. If you find that you have received defective plates, note the lot number and expiration date and put them aside. Report the issue to the Alabama Waterwatch Program Office so that we can advise you on how to proceed. Prepare your Petri dishes by taping the top, which is the larger piece, to the bottom on one side of the dish. Keep the Petri dish closed as much as possible to avoid contamination. Use a permanent marker to label each of the Petri dish lids and the corresponding media bottles with numbers or letters that indicate the site and replicate. For example, if you are sampling 2 sites, label the plates and bottles for the first site as 1A, 1B, and 1C. Label the plates and bottles for the second site as 2A, 2B, and 2C. It is best to write on the tape rather than directly on the Petri dish. Set your plates aside for use after you have conducted your sampling in the field. It's also a good idea to label the Ziploc bags containing the media bottles with the site number before loading up to leave. Good organization goes a long way in preventing mistakes. Filling out the data form. You can fill out the following sections of your data form before you go to the field. Remember to write legibly. Group name. If it's your first time monitoring and you are not monitoring with an established Alabama Waterwatch group, you can leave this blank for now and contact the Alabama Waterwatch office to discuss an appropriate group name. Collector. This is the monitor or monitors who are conducting the test and who should sign the data reporting form. The Alabama Waterwatch staff will contact the collectors listed if there are questions regarding the data. Watershed refers to one of the major watersheds or river basins of Alabama, for example, the Coosa watershed. Water body. This is the specific stream, pond, lake, etc. that you are monitoring, such as Choccolocco Creek in the Coosa River watershed. If you are sampling a small stream that is not labeled on your map, put unnamed tributary. The Alabama Waterwatch staff can help you determine the name of the tributary. County. Record the county where the data is being collected, which is not necessarily the same county in which you live. If you aren't sure, contact the Alabama Waterwatch staff for assistance. Sampling site location. Include a consistent description of your water testing site location each time you monitor your site. Don't leave us guessing. You can include landmarks such as the highway number, a county road, a bridge crossing. For example, 30 feet upstream of Randolph County Road 159 bridge is a great description. You should use the same description that was used on the sampling site form by whoever originally set up the site. Alabama Waterwatch Site Code. Record the AWW site code assigned to this location by the AWW staff. You likely won't have one of these if this is your first time sampling at a new site. If you have multiple sites, double check that you are recording the correct AWW site code. Please contact the AWW staff if you change monitoring location and include a complete description of the new location with a map or georeference if possible. You will continue to fill in the remainder of your data form in the field and when you determine your results. Now, let's pack our cooler for the field with our ice pack, 2 sandwich bags, each containing 3 media bottles for our 2 sites, 3 pipettes, 1 for each site and 1 extra, the thermometer, our data forms, a pen, and hand sanitizer. Lastly, before we head out the door, it's a good idea to turn our incubator on so that it has time to reach the desired temperature, which should be between 29 and 37 degrees Celsius. The way you set your temperature will depend on the type of incubator you are using. You'll find more information in your manual and additional videos. Regardless of the type, you'll want to test out your incubator to make sure it is maintaining the desired temperature before you sample. Otherwise, you risk killing your bacteria with temperatures that are too high or inhibiting bacteria growth with temperatures that are too low.